Usually, these things begin with a bang. This one begins with a whip.
It ain't fair. You leave me alone. You hear me? I never did nothing. That's right. You keep off of me, man. You think I'm scared of you? I ain't scared.
Well, well. Kenny Fitzgerald, as I live and breathe. Nice smell you've invented there, Fitzy.
Stay away from me. I never did nothing, I swear. You gotta believe me.
This just in, Kenneth, my man. In case you're still confused about the way things work, I'm the spider, and you're the fly. So, see, that means I'm on to you. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to notice that for a man so slow on the uptake, you move a lot quicker when the good guys show.
I didn't know, Mr. Spider-Man. I swear. I'm just running information these days. You don't want me. I'm small potatoes. They wanted me to do stuff, but I'm like, no way, Jose. Not in a million years. I don't do that no more. I promise. All I got is information.
Well, good. Maybe you can inform me as to what you're talking about. You know what I don't get, Fitzy? How come every time I run into you, the first thing out of your weaselly little mouth is, I've never done nothing? So then, we've got to go to all this extra effort just to get where we're going in the first place. You run, I chase, you fall over, I catch you, then one little jerk, and voila! One big jerk.
I ain't saying a word.
3 things I like about you, Fitz. 1, you're like the perennial last place finisher in the criminal mastermind of the year competition. 2, you got a mouth the size of the Holland Tunnel. And 3, you're afraid of heights.
Ah!
I may be blind, but that doesn't mean I don't know how to feel. Lately, I feel like I'm thrashing in a big, scummy ocean, and all the sharks are down below, watching my legs and biding their time. I'm Daredevil. Years ago, when I lost my sight, I was given the ability to sense instead. I can see and feel things other people can't. I can always tell when there's trouble in the water. I can taste it on the air currents that drift upwards from Hell's Kitchen, mingle with the reek of tobacco and stale food, and the chatter of 10 million heartbeats. These last few days, the bottom feeders have been busy. Down at the docks, the deal goes bad. An unknown third party makes off unobserved with some expensive merchandise. My job is suddenly 12 wise guys simpler, and the gene pool is a little cleaner. Except the merchandise in question belongs to a certain Mr. Wilson Fisk, which complicates things. But it doesn't end there. It's just the beginning of a bad week. Next night, someone abruptly turns out the lights on an illegal casino operations in the city. More dead villains. More poetic justice. And here's where chance and intent begin to diverge. A certain Mr. Wilson Fisk is known to be a frequent patron of the restaurant upstairs. Same night, a very expensive and uninsured warehouse goes up in smoke. Same MO. But it figures to be an accident. Perhaps another coincidence. Unless you don't believe in coincidences. Back home, my head's swimming worse than when I left. The week has produced far more questions than answers, it seems. Momentarily distracted, I almost missed the sound of the heartbeat coming inside my apartments. I hear him then, breathing quietly. Most definitely male, with an athlete's heartbeat. Hair is colder than normal. He came through the window. The skin is warm, almost hot. I smell his sweat mixed with a faint chemical odor that I recognize anywhere. The echoes of my footsteps suggest a weight displacement to the left side of the living room. He's calm, waiting for me. His heart rate picks up when he realizes I'm home. but not enough to indicate he's going to pose a threat. Of course, I already knew all of this, because most people don't make themselves comfortable halfway up a wall.
Pop quiz. Why are geese and lawyers exactly alike? Because they can stick their bill up there?
Heard it already. Come on, Peter. Make yourself at home.
I already did. Love the new digs, by the way. I got something you might be interested in. I take it you heard some moron stepped in on a pretty major deal down at the docks last week. Walked off with half a ton of blow and cash to pay for it, right? Guy apparently didn't realize the goods belonged to a certain criminal VIP of our acquaintance whose name rhymes with Kingpin. Those the note figures just a matter of time before he shows up for a midnight swim wearing a suit of armor.
Something like that, yeah.
Right. Well, no one in their right mind would go up against Fisk. But what if it turned out that whoever stole all that nose candy didn't do it by accident? That import-export warehouse somebody torched the next night, run by a company called Waterway Imports. I checked it out. It's all legit. Except for one small detail that doesn't show up on the police report. Waterway Imports is solely owned and operated by a company called Manhattan Merchandising Incorporated. And guess which human bucket of lard owns MMI?
Kingpin. Someone's making a play on Fisk? I doubt it. They'd have to be insane.
You got any soda? This stuff gives me gas.
It's water. Keeps you hydrated, Peter.
Yeah, well, talking of hydrated, I rented that little sweat stain, Kenny Fitzgerald, this afternoon. I'm figuring out just press him about the warehouse thing. Only before I can say a word, he turns tail and runs like a rabbit. We have a conversation in an alley, the poor little toe rag just about falls over himself trying to hide the fact that everything's connected and he's involved. Problem is, right after he starts talking, he gets real scared and clams up. Won't say who the new muscle in town is. All I can get out of him is that the name of the guy who tried to recruit him. Some slimeball named Jack Daniel Abbott. Know him?
Naturally, I'm defending Jack Abbott next month on parole violation.
So I heard. I need you to do me a favor. Go pay this guy a visit. Find out who's paying his legal bills, okay? In the meantime, I'm gonna go do some more rooting around. See if anyone knows who'd be crazy enough to go after Kingpin. Whoever it is, they're either very scared or very stupid. I'll check back here on Friday night.
Peter, wait!
I don't get it. I mean, why don't we do something instead of all this nickel and dime stuff? Give me one chance. I can take Fisk out by myself.
Haha! Stiltman, I admire your spirit. You have the heart of a Rotarius, my small friend, but a true warrior knows patience. This Wilson Fisk, he may be weak, but he is still the Emperor of Crime, the King of Corruption. We can't strike until we're sure it is the right time.
If you ever call me small again, I'll kill you before you finish that sentence. You got me, gladiator?
I meant no offense.
Children, my children. Now is not the time to war amongst ourselves. Not if we are to take the city and own it. My wonderful boys, Copperhead, yours is a welcome return to the fray. So much evil in the world. So little time for you to subdue it. Gladiator, you honor your Caesars with the passion and fanaticism of a true psychopath. For that, I applaud you. And you, Stiltman, how you've grown. More vicious now and all the better for it. Wear your anger with pride, my son.
Get bent.
We are kindred spirits, my boys. Disgraced, defiled, and exiled from this open sewer of carnality and greed we call civilization. Victims we may be, but to the victims go the spoils. For this city is a shimmering prize of insanity. An asylum of untold riches. And soon, very soon, it will belong to the inmates.
I've known Jack Abbott on and off for years. The off part being his frequent times of incarceration, and the on part being time off for good behavior. He's a habitual offender in every sense of the word. But even though Jack's in and out like a fox in a henhouse, he's a pretty sharp guy. The kind who'd be a salesman or a lawyer, but for a couple of bad breaks. And just for a change, he's innocent. As a term for your parole, Jack, you're required to avoid contact with known felons. Word on the street is you've been trying to bring bodies on board for a new outfit. If you level with me on this, I promise I'll see what I can work out with the DA.
You've always been straight with me, Mr. Murdock, and I appreciate that, but you got no idea what you're asking. That outfit you think you heard about? Them boys are in it for keeps. And they got an eye in every corner. You look up in the air for them, and they're right under your feet. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about some major financing, Mr. Murdock, and the resolve to back it up. Hell, half the guards in here are probably on their payroll. Nowadays, you don't know if you're coming or going. You don't know if you shake your friend's hand, he'll stab you in the back. But one thing I know for sure, Mr. Murdock, you keep asking me that question, and I answer it, I'm a dead man.
Jack's trying to tell me something. I can sense his heart racing, and his pupils dilating each time he goes close to it. He's trying to hide it from the guard at the door. It's a subtle change in vocal inflection, an overstressed word. Clues hidden in what he keeps silent as much as what he says. 7 taps total. He's definitely sending me some kind of message. I decide to play along with this game, hoping to pick up on the rules as we go along. Come on, Jack. I can't help you unless you help me first. Who have you been working for in the last month?
You want me to be some kind of a snitch, Mr. Murdock? No way. That ain't my modus operandi. I'm a reformed man these days. A regular Latter-day Saint, just like Mary Osmond. That's all I got for you, Mr. Murdock. You hear what I'm saying?
Loud and clear, Jack. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to help you. I'd like to, but you've not given me a great deal to work with.
That depends on how you look at it, Mr. Murdock. If you pardon the expression, you just remember I never said a word, okay? Anyone ask you? Jack Abert don't snitch to no one.
Don't worry, Jack. You never said a word.
Do you understand me, gentlemen? This is my city. No one presses the Kingpin. No one!
Like rats in a cage.
Hey, this area's off limits.
Sightless I may be, gentlemen, but my operations require more than eyes. I expect your full attention to this matter.
Howdy.
Mr. Fisk, sir? We've got some kind of problem. Control. You copy? Control? Sir, I can't get anyone downstairs. It could be my radio's busted. I'll check.
Yeah, this is 10-3. I hear you fine. Nothing here. Over.
Poor little rodents. Take away their eyes.
What happened? What is it?
Better wait here, sir. We've got some kind of situation going down.
And they cannot see.
What's happening? Someone! Anyone! I demand to know!